Me, it sounds like you're saying that you cannot achieve work-life balance as a woman.
Why do people have a problem with women being in important events and missing the key things? Because men have been doing it for decades. Oh, because I'm working, I'm the provider.
Clock it.
So now why do you expect women to make some sort of career sacrifice just because they're women?
Because nobody's asking these CEOs how you balancing
Exactly.
life and work. Welcome back to the Is Daddy podcast. I'm doing your host, and it's been a while, but I'm so happy to be back. And this season, we're doing things differently and a lot better. And I'm so excited that, we're dropping this new season in the spring. So it kind of just feels like we're growing, we're blooming. So just you guys expect good things, expect great things from us this year. And to kick off this episode, I have no other person than my lovely friend, Ruth Uche.
Hi, Doing. Thank you very much for having me.
Well, I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm happy that you agreed. She was like, yeah, I've been waiting for you to bring me to this podcast.
Did I say that?
Yes, she did.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, Ruth over here has over a decade of work experience in the finance industry. She worked in the sales and trading division at Bank of America. And right now, she's still working in finance. She's still in the asset and wealth management space. But aside that, your girl is booked and busy. She also hosts the Ruth Be Told podcast. Clock it.
Click it.
So where can they find your podcast?
Anywhere you listen to your podcast, really. Apple, Spotify, really anywhere.
I know the girl is also a woman of God. So she also runs a fellowship called Lux. If you guys want to get more info on that, check their Instagram page. Do you want to plug that in as well?
Yeah, it's Lux New Jersey Community. Lux New Jersey Community. NJ, not New Jersey. Lux NJ Community.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. So, all right. So I know if you guys don't know this, if you're following this podcast, you should know by now. If you're my real core fan, but your girl here also has over a decade of not over a decade, half a decade of work experience in the finance industry. I used to work at Goldman Sachs. I worked in the asset and wealth management space, also worked in controllers. I'm also the host of this podcast, also a graduate student at NYU. And also, you guys, just a fun fact, Ruth and I actually both worked as interns at Deloitte.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I actually forgot. What division were you in?
I did audits.
Oh, I was in tax.
Yeah, she did
Oh,
tax.
wow. I forgot.
All right, so I say that I'm giving you guys all our, updates just because, both of us, we've worked in the finance industry. We've been through like the hustle and the bustle, 60 plus hour work weeks, working with difficult manager, the whole competition, the atmosphere. So, we kind of just wanted to talk about do you guys really think it's possible to do it all? As women in this industry, because I feel like sometimes, they kind of tell you that, oh, you kind of have to pick one or two. It's either you have the family and you don't have the career, or you have the career and you don't have the family. So we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of that. And, kind of split it up, in terms of work-life balance, what do we expect in our 20s now? And, how do we even view work-life balance when we're a lot older? But before we get into that, and before I really, debate and spill the whole tea here, we just want to hear from our beloved guest, Ruth. Do you have any hot thoughts? I don't want to say hot topic because I don't want to hold you. I don't want any cancellation, anything of that nature. So any hot thoughts, something you're thinking about that you just feel like, you just want to air it out here. This is a safe space.
It's a safe space indeed. Internet is a safe space. Okay.
We have a disclaimer. Okay.
Okay. But I think when I think about work-life balance, I do believe that young people, especially Gen Zs, would work longer hours if they're paid for it. If they're paid for it, if just imagine like if your manager says, I need you to work longer hours and I'm going to give you 50% raise, would you take it?
Of course.
Yeah, so
Of
it's
course.
like I think and that's why I believe that work-life balance really looks different for people in different phases of their lives, right? Like as Gen Zs, or should I say younger generations now, before we start our family or before we start having family, we're really we really don't have any of like anything taking our attention outside of work and traveling and friends and chilling and all that vibes and all that. So I think when we're offered, for example, a 50% raise, some of us would take it, some of us would go for it. And that's why I say there's a way to negotiate that work-life balance, especially at a young age.
Yeah, I agree with you because me, I say I know people online say you're in your 20s, you only live once. Do the see, I take that in a good way because yes, you're in your 20s, you only live once. But I also see your 20s as the time to really grind because I feel like, and also we're kind of like putting this conversation also like around us. I mean, it applies to men too, but maybe mostly for women because I mean, now lots of women also work and like have kids and do all of this and they they're navigating how to balance that. But anyways, before I sidetrack, I definitely agree with you on that hot take. I don't even think anyone would really disagree as much.
I think people would.
You think so?
I think some people's answer would be no, I would not take it because and the reason why I talk about like I was reading a survey, I can't remember the numbers exactly, but they were talking about how even with a salary increase, a lot of people would not take that because they're prioritizing over and over the impacts or their life experiences or travels that they get out of it. I have a friend that actually quit corporate just to travel around Europe.
I know a
So
lot
the
of people that
money
have
is
done
less and
that.
less important for
Yeah.
people our age, and it's just like not everyone would say yes. Actually,
Actually, I don't know because of how you've explained it. Because I kind of like feel like yes, like some people also might not agree to that. Because think about it. Yes, you want. I mean, they might not agree to it because yes, you get the 50% raise and you get more money. But sometimes you just, to your point, you want to travel, you want to explore. But also the thing to note is a lot of, let's say, people our age and are young probably haven't started like raising, they've not started a family yet, so they
exactly.
don't have kids.
Yeah,
So it's like, well, if I quit my job, it's not like I have mouths to feed.
exactly.
Versus the people who are older, they have to they have to grab their job, like they have to hold on to their job like with all their strength because they have mouths to feed. So for us it's like, yeah, like, okay, yes, well, I'll get the raise, but like also because think about, I don't know, I think it's like now that you're giving me this back and forth, it's kind of seeming 50-50 because yes, like in your 20s you also have like lots of energy. So I think that, I don't know, like right now, will I take the 50% raise if I was offered it? Should we make it personal?
Yeah, I would.
Would you take it?
I would. Right now, yes,
You
but
would,
would
okay.
I take it in 5 years' time? I don't think so.
But think about it. Like now, if you take it, how would you then balance Ruth Be Told? How would you balance Locks, New Jersey, and even other things in your life that you do? So I don't know. Explain that.
Yeah, it's gonna be tricky, but I think it's possible, and I think that's a big hot take on TikTok now, where everyone is saying
Okay.
that it's actually possible to have a good life, a good career, and also balance that with work. However, I think if I do take it, speaking personally, if I do take it, it's going to impact a lot of things in my life that I do care about. My family, and again, I say 5 years from now because I don't know if I'm going to be married or if I have kids. And I
Yeah.
think if I do have kids and if I'm married, there's no way it's not going to affect that. Like you have to really pick which one are you going to prioritize. And if you're prioritizing work, then you're really going to lose should I say you're going to lose some events in your kids' life, like when they go for their practice and like you're at work because you have a meeting or you're attending to a client. So there are things that you're going to miss but it's just finding a good balance even in the midst of that. Recognizing first that you're going to miss some things out of the life that you want, but also trying to balance that. So to answer your question, how am I going to balance Ruth Be Told, Lux, New Jersey, and all of that?
Yeah.
Girl, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I'm just gonna have to work extra time, and I think the one thing that would suffer is my sleep. Because when I'm supposed to be sleeping, I'm trying to catch up on Read Be Told. I'm trying to catch up on Lux, New Jersey, and the other things that I do.
Yeah.
So I do think it's possible. I just think it's impossible to have a healthy family life and even like physical health while doing that.
But I think that really brings us to our topic about like debunking the myth, because I don't know, it's tough, but I think, and I might be in like I don't know if it's a faith driven mindset, because I think I read a book that kind of started to, maybe change my opinions. But to me, it sounds like you're saying that you cannot achieve work life balance as a woman.
What? No.
That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm understanding. It seems like you're saying that, well, you can have work life balance in your 20s now because you don't have, even though you have other things you're working on, in your 20s, you have the energy. You don't have a family to cater to. So even though you have like all these work responsibilities, even if they'll give you long hours, but there's a 50% pay rise, like you can still kind of figure out how to do that, do your podcast, do other things that you like. But once you start a family, it's kind of like, whether you like, it seems like what you're saying is whether you like it or not, one is going to suffer. So it's either your career is going to suffer or your family is going to suffer. And it's kind of like you're saying, okay, pick the one that's more important to you, is what I'm hearing.
Okay, so I wouldn't necessarily say your family would suffer. Okay. I would say you would miss out on some events and some things happening. Doesn't necessarily mean your family will suffer. And the reason I say that is because if you have a very useful partner, sorry, I'll restate that. Like if you have a partner that is supportive, right? I don't think your family will necessarily suffer because that person is able to pick up the slack. Doesn't mean you would not miss some things. Like think about it, like school, games, events, all of that happen during the day. That's when you're at work. That's when client meetings are coming up. And depending on the career field that you're in or the industry that you're in, you're maybe able to shift your schedule and adjust your schedule based on what your kids have or what your husband have or what your family has really. So if you're able to do that and still miss out on that, your partner is able to pick up the slack in those areas, but you're still missing out. It's during the day, but if you're in an industry that you're able to adjust your schedule, then that works better rather than working in corporate, which doesn't really give you as much flexibility as having your own thing gives you.
You know what, I like that standpoint, because it seems like you're saying that so far as you have a good partner, because the thing is, like, I think in the what's it called, last generation, not last, but maybe like the last two generations, like it was more, I think now there's a lot of women who work, earn money. So I think now there's also a lot of men who are supportive in the sense of like they don't just rely on just their wife to take care of the home. Because imagine as a woman, you have to take care of your family, work, even your own, like before you created your new family, your previous your parents, you also have parents, you also have your own siblings. Because sometimes I think I'm like, how does my mom even manage all these things? Like even 4 kids, let's say you have 4 or 5 kids, they all have different problems. You now have to manage like managing all of that, like for sure is not easy. But the thing is, like, if you are with someone and your husband doesn't think that, oh, it's just a role of my wife to do all of this, if you have someone who's supportive of you, the thing is, the household, managing the house now is just not just on you. It's a shared responsibility. So, and I think now, as time passes, I think there's a lot of things that support. Because now, like where I used to work, I know men also got paternity. as well as women. So yeah, I think in the future, so me, my own take on this is, do I think it's possible? I think it is. I think so far as you have someone, a partner who's supportive, you both can figure it out. I think some things can be, what's that word? Some things can be delegated,
Yeah.
to people that who can come and assist you. But I feel like so far as you see it, you can make it work. I think I remember Michelle Obama, like she was in an interview and she said something like, "Oh, when she used to work at the White House." Don't misquote me. And I need to double check. But she said something about how like she would work like I think Monday through Wednesday. Like Monday through Wednesday were like her peak work time. And then Thursday, Friday were more like relax, and then those 2 days she also like prioritize like family things. But even the Monday to Friday, like she was on a strict regimen. So I think that it is possible, but the thing is you have to see it. And the problem is a lot of people think that it's not possible, and I don't blame them because now there are women who are doing it
Yeah.
that you can look up to. But that's like it's just recently happening. I think in the past there wasn't as many examples. Like the women you see, even for me, like I don't know if this is your experience, but like for me working in the workplace, like a lot of the women that I'd see that were like top executives, a lot of them were, hey, I don't know, I don't want people to judge, but a lot of them were single. But there were also some women who were also top executives. But the thing is that their story is different. So like the one who is a top executive probably maybe made that in like, let's say 8 to 10 years. The lady was able to become an MD. But what you notice is no husband, no kids. But then the other one who made MD in like, let's say 15 years, you see has maybe a child, a husband. So I don't know. So me, I feel like maybe you can have it all, but the time frame is just going to be different. Because whether you like it or not, you're putting time into other things. You're not just focused. It's like if you just focus on building a chair, you can build that chair in a day. Versus if you have to build a chair and a table, that will take you a longer duration. So me, I think it's possible for sure. I just think that it just might not be as fast. It might be a little bit of a longer journey. But do you agree?
I think I agree to an extent.
Okay.
I agree to an extent, and that's because when you look at it from the life perspective, we're talking.
Also, I'm talking about what I've seen. These are things that this is what I've more like I can like point out to like 2, 3, 6 people that I've observed, like let's say in the workplace, like this happening. This is like something that I think happens a lot. But continue.
Yeah, no, I mean that makes sense. I would say the reason I agree to an extent is because if you do have supportive partners on both ends, like I was mentioning before, you have a supportive partner, you also have supportive co-workers, I think it makes the process a bit easier. But it depends on the industry you are in. If you're in fully corporate, you're not doing your own thing. Because again, when we talk about work-life balance, we're also talking about people that are entrepreneurs as well. Because they have to put in a lot of effort, much more than some corporate people have to do.
I agree.
So if you're an entrepreneur, I think first that gives a bit of flexibility, but also you're able to build a team around your needs at that particular phase that you're in. So I say if you have supportive people on both ends, it makes the process a bit easier. But I do have a bit of a slightly different experience than what you're talking about regarding people you see in the workplace. I think majority of the top women that I have seen where have worked and people I've connected with, they actually have family. And one of the things I always try to talk to them about is, hey, how are you doing this? Because a lot of people out there make it seem like it's impossible. It's possible, but I know it comes with and a lot of what they say is you have to recognize that there would be sacrifices that needs to be made. You may miss 1 or 2 games. You may miss 1 or 2 things.
But then So
but it is
continue.
possible.
So I was going to, so also just so I can clarify my point. So I have met a lot of women who have like families and kids in the workplace, but when you like look at how long it took for them to get there,
Oh, I see.
it's the length, it's the duration, it's taking
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah.
But then like another thing is that okay, fine, they were able because missing the games and things like that. Like I guess I mean we're both not parents, but I feel like I was listening to. So, you guys, I started reading this book. It Starts With You by Emma Grade. And there were like a couple of things that was highlighted. And also, she's been doing like book tours. But she said something about like being a 3-hour mom. And people took that like, oh my God, da da da. How do you deal with the mom guilt? So, I don't know. Because like, how does that even impact, your child in the long run? Like you not being present for like core things like that. Because I'm sure those kids go to school and like other parents, like their other classmates, their parents are there. So how do they feel? Because then it's like, oh, well, my mom's working.
What
And
does
then,
a 3 hour mom mean?
oh, like, I think, I don't know what she meant by 3-hour mom, but like almost like clock in, clock out type
Okay,
of
so she
thing.
only has like 3 hours for her kids per day.
I don't know if she meant it per day. I think it was just more like her saying like she's not as hands on. Like of course
Oh,
she's
I
not
see.
preparing
Yeah.
your meals to take to school in the morning type of thing. Like she's only there for the core things. So maybe like graduation she'll come. But like some maybe PTA, of course she's always be at the PTA meeting. Like she's only there for the core birthdays, like core pivotal things, but like the small in between, she's probably not available. And she just was like I honestly don't think what she said is wrong. I think it's just the reality.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like because and then she also gave like, an exam. There was something else that was covered in the book. So this is kind of like, about like growth, especially in the workplace. I know we touched on the work-life balance, but like she mentioned how like, working from home, how working from home is a career killer. What do you think about that? For women especially. It's
So
not in the I don't think it's in the book. She mentioned it on a podcast.
before I answer the question, just something you were speaking about earlier. Why do people have a problem with women being in important events and missing the key things, just like she was talking about, not being as hands-on? Because men have been doing it for decades. Men have been doing it for decades with the guise of disguising it as, oh, because I'm working, I'm the provider. We're living in a day and age where women are working.
Clock it.
So now why do you expect women to make some sort of career sacrifice just because they're women?
Yeah, because nobody's asking these CEOs how you balancing life
Exactly.
and work,
Exactly. No one asks those questions. And
I
it's
agree.
like when people are asking how do you deal with the mom guilt or whatever, are they asking how do
The
you deal with dad guilts? So
Because
that's
a
my
lot of
own
dads
thing.
be
Like why?
absent.
Yeah.
Like it's so bad.
Why is it that it's not becoming a norm where it's like women are working, so there has to be certain sacrifices that need to be made, life sacrifices in order to grow career. Am I saying you should take one over the other? Absolutely not. But to balance both, there needs to be some sort of sacrifices on both ends, right? But because someone is saying she has a 3-hour hands-on experience with her kids per day doesn't mean make her a bad mother or all of those things, because men have been doing these things for decades. Do I agree with working from home being a career killer? Somewhat, because I think out of sight, out of mind. If you're not really growing and having a relationship with people at work, I think that takes a bit of time. And I'm going to give you an example. When I started my career, I started full time. Actually, you know what, I'm not going to say that. Scratch that.
Yes, ma'am.
Scratch that.
Okay.
But I think working from home, yes, is nice and gives a bit of flexibility. I'm not even going to say I'm not someone that does not agree with work from home. I believe that is one blessing that the treacherous COVID brought, and making that okay. But I would say I do see her perspective. I see where she's coming from. Out of sight, out of mind is a real thing.
Yeah. And you guys, like, even simple things in the office, like happy hours, like catch up sessions, like
Happy hours, yeah.
those are the things that really make or break you getting promoted or not getting promoted. So, like, those things are important, especially if you want to get promoted really fast. Yeah. So, I think so. That's all we have in terms of, like, work life balance. I think you guys have kind of heard like a mix of both. I think we're leaning on like it is possible. You just have to have a partner, to be honest, who will help you and support you. But if you have that, you can definitely get it done. And also, to all women listening, please, I understand that this world is not fair. But to be honest, if you want to see change, especially like in the corporate space, even in wherever you are, you need to be the change that you want to see. It's not going to be easy. But I think there was a quote someone said, like, they said, like, power is not served a la carte. If you want something,
Go get
you
it.
gotta go get it.
Go
Like,
get it.
you have to grind and you have to work hard. And it's not easy, but you gotta do what you gotta do. The men are not going to just, like, no one's going to really just hand you anything. So if you want to be that leader in your office, you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to network. You're going to have to do the work. And you might be the first one to do it, but guess what? Even better, because now you're bringing more women up. So now we're gonna start the lightning round. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. So first question: ChatGPT or Claude?
Claude. Any
Work-
day. Sorry.
Wow. Work-life balance and work-life integration.
Work-life integration.
Biggest red flag in a job.
People leaving fast.
Okay, I agree. Something in finance culture that's overrated.
The work hours.
Yeah, because like why are we celebrating 80 plus hours?
I know.
Come on. All right. So what does having it all mean to you in one sentence?
Oof. Love.
Ooh.
Wealth. Travel.
Okay.
So I would say in one sentence, I would say having it all means having people in my life that love me and having wealth to celebrate that love with them, with the love of God as well.
That's a very beautiful answer. Burnout cure. Sleep, workout, or disconnect completely. I guess you've never
Disconnect
experienced
completely.
burnout.
Oh, I have. Disconnect
Wow.
completely.
I hope you're not one of those that will just ghost.
I am one of those that will
Wow.
just ghost you.
Yikes. So early morning or late nights?
Late nights.
Promotion or peace of mind if you had to choose?
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
Absolutely.
For you that said for a 50% raise, you
Doesn't
want-
mean I don't have peace of mind.
Okay.
Peace of it's just like you saying you would be comfortable if you rob a store if they don't catch you. I would never have peace of mind. I'll always be thinking if someone actually knocks on my door one day. Peace of mind any day, anytime.
Fair enough. So one word your younger self needed to hear.
Everything is gonna be okay.
Oh. All right. So that brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed and loved the conversation just as much as I did. Well, thank you so much to the beautiful Ruth who came and sat with us. So I want to know what you guys' thoughts on the work life balance is. Do you think this is as deep as an issue, or do you think this is just people just talking? Let us know in the comment section.